Hello everyone, welcome to another splits training video. This video will work more straddle stretching, working towards your middle splits. So not as much front splits training in this video, much more middle splits focus. So let's go ahead and take your legs wide. Not as wide as I can go, I'd say a little wider than a 90-degree angle. You're going to shake it out side to side, bending one knee and the other. Take any little movements here to help you feel comfortable. If at any point during this practice you want to pause the video, work on your own stretches, dive a little bit deeper into one stretch, spend some more time there, feel free to do so. And only do stretches that feel good to you. So listen to your body here, breathe, and take any modifications to better suit your practice. We'll go ahead and reach over our right leg first. Continue to breathe deeply, work into your right hamstring. Inhale, lift up to a flat back, and exhale, fold over forward again. Inhale, lift to flat back, and exhale, fold over forward. Come through center, take a big roll in your shoulders, readjust in the middle of your mat. Inhale, reach your hands up high and reach over your left leg. Fold here. Inhale, half lift, nice flat back, and exhale, fold over forward again. Lift to flat back, and exhale, fold. Gently bring your way back to center. Shake out left and right. And find some stillness here. As you inhale next, open up your chest towards the front of the room. Arch your back a little and exhale, round back. Inhale, open up forward, press your chest forward, and exhale, round back. Inhale, forward. Exhale, round. Inhale, forward. Exhale, round. Inhale, forward. And begin to bring the movement into half circles in the front of your mat. So moving left and right, swooping forward, And working your way a little closer towards the ground, beginning to open up your hips. Lift up a little as you continue to rock left and right, bringing the motion into a circle. Hands can come to the mat in front or behind you, or to your thighs. Continue to engage your core as you move and switch directions. As we move here, we're working lots of different angles in the hips, so very, very beneficial to do at the beginning of a stretching session. Find your way back in center. Continue to rock out left and right as you reach hands for opposite shoulders. Keep your back as flat and long here as possible. We're going to inhale, lift up to seated tall, and exhale, bend over forward. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, see if you can tap your elbows towards the ground. As you lift, you're engaging your low back. This becomes actually a low back exercise. Stretching your hamstrings and those inner muscles of your thighs. You may even find you're pressing through your heels a little bit, pressing your legs down more firmly into the mat to help lift you up. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Take a couple more here. Then inhale, reach your hands up tall and hold halfway over, finding as flat of a back as possible. We'll take some sweeps here. Inhale, reach the hands up, and exhale into heart center. Inhale, reach, and through heart center, reach up. Heart center, keep breathing, stay strong, reach up. Heart center, reach. Last one, sit all the way up nice and tall. Hands come to the hips, round, chin towards your chest, and inhale, press your chest forward. Take a couple seated cat-cows here, forward and back. Take that motion into a circle, moving one direction. And switch directions. Gently walk your hands forward, hold your straddle here. Bring your attention to your breath. Again, keep your spine as long and flat as possible. Maybe even press your belly down towards the mat, arch a little. As we stretch here, ensure that your knees are aligned towards the ceiling as opposed to rolling in forward. It's all right if they roll a little back, just try to avoid them coming in forward. Next, inhale, sits you all the way up tall, and walk your heels out a little wider so your straddle's a little wider here. Bend into your left knee and set it down. And bend into your right, set it down. Left and right. We'll add a little more movement here as we move left. Reach over your left leg, bend to your left side, and right. Moving side to side. Left and and right. Left and right. Left, right, and make your way back to center. Sit up nice and tall. Hands come in front as you begin to rock and roll forward and back up. Take your time here, easing into your straddle. I'm turning to the side here so I can give you guys a couple more pointers. It'll be easier to point out. So rolling forward and back, using your hands to move you here. Maybe your legs open a little wider. Again, at this point, the knees are still pointing straight up towards the ceiling. As you work closer towards middle splits, the knees will naturally fall forward as you roll forward. So the wider your legs get, the more natural it will become for your knees to roll forward, and that's totally okay. Walk your hands slightly in front of you and begin to take some cat-cow motions here in your wide straddle. Find some stillness. Maybe you sink a little deeper to your straddle. Gently bring yourself all the way back up to seated tall. Release a little, then find your way back into the stretch. If you're comfortable putting your chest towards the floor, you can try a pancake variation with the hands under your ankles. Bring your hands wide on the mat and begin to snake your body left and right, moving a little up and a little down, bringing some more movement to the stretch. Go ahead and melt yourself forward, then over to your right side. If you'd like a different arm variation here, you can reach your hands actually towards the foot instead of towards the floor to get a little more to your right. Gently release that, make your way through center and to your left side, sink down and tune into your breath and your body. If you'd like to reach over the feet instead of towards the ground, go ahead, take that variation. Go ahead, come back to center, hold here. Bring your hands to the ground as you gently wiggle left and right, returning all the way up to seated tall. Hands walk to the thighs, continue to rock out side to side. Bend your right knee, the right foot comes to the floor. And use your right elbow to press your knee a little wide behind you as you send your chest forward. Release a little, then press right back into it. 3 more full breaths here before we switch sides. And gently release that side. Bend your left knee. Use your left elbow to press the knee a little wider. Release a little and press right back into it. Gently release that side, bring the soles of your feet together, sit up nice and tall. Now use your elbows to press both knees wide as you lean forward into a butterfly pose. If it feels good to find some movement left and right, do that. And as you lift up, take it into some big circles, one direction. And the other direction. And find some stillness in the center. Deep breath there before you release. Shake out your legs in front of you. Inhale, open the chest, bend the knees. Look up and exhale, round back. Find your way through all fours, and we'll take a frog split stretch before we attempt our full middle splits. So rock a little into each side of your hips. As you lower down, your knees will slowly find their way further apart from one another, working on finding a 90-degree angle at the hips, the knees, and the ankles. We'll spend a good amount of time here to allow your hips to sink closer towards the floor, open up the muscles of your inner thighs. So frog stretch is the same body position as a middle split. The only difference is that your knees are bent. So if your hips come very close to the floor in frog, chances are that you are very close to your middle split. Likewise, if middle split is too intense for you, frog stretch is a good stretch to take instead until your hips are pretty close to the floor and you know you're ready for a middle split. Go ahead, walk your hands a little to the left. Through center and a little to the right. Go ahead and make your way back to center. Switch up the positioning a little by pulling your heels a tad bit closer towards one another. Begin to press into your hands, walk your hands a little closer to your hips. Inhale, lift up, straighten the arms, and exhale, drop your elbows. Lift and drop. Lift and drop. One more time, lift and drop. Slowly make your way out of your frog stretch now through child's pose. Take a couple breaths here, then we'll go ahead and prepare for middle splits. So whenever you're ready, go ahead and bring yourself to a seated position. Take your legs in the widest straddle that they go. Ultimately, you'll want to have your legs in a middle split position before you actually roll over. When you're first starting middle splits, it'll likely be less than a 180-degree angle. Then when you roll onto the floor, gravity will help your hips come a little bit closer. So take your legs as wide as they go. Take a few deep breaths here. Breathe into your muscles. You can give your thighs a little massage. Begin to tilt your pelvis forward and back. Bring your hands to the floor in front of you. Continue to tilt as you walk your hands closer and closer towards the ground. Now, if you're just starting to work middle splits, your hips will likely pop up off the ground, and that's totally okay. It becomes more comfortable the more flexible you become because there won't be any space between you and the floor, so there's less work stretching your muscles. Wherever you're at, make your way as close to the floor as possible. I have lots of videos on middle splits, so I'll link a couple here if you guys are in that range between about 3 inches within the floor and you just can't get that last bit to the floor. I have the perfect video for you guys using blocks and some yoga props. So I'll link that here, as well as many other middle splits flows, which I'll create a playlist of. So I'll link that here or in the description as well. Lift up a little and walk over to your right side, however is comfortable for you to tilt a little to that side. And to your left. Gently make your way back to center, release just slightly. Shake it out a little if you want. We'll be coming into our middle splits one more time. I'm just going to turn to the side so you can get a bit of a different view of what's going on here. So whenever you're ready, find your way back down into your middle splits. Hold there. And we'll begin to build a little bit of a flow here. So take a couple cat-cow movements first, rolling forward and back. One full breath in through the nose and out through the nose. Lift up and press into your left hand. Your right arm will reach up towards the ceiling and take a little twist over your right shoulder. Reach that hand back up and replace, switch hands, left arm up and behind. And return to center, hold here, 5 full breaths here, and then we'll release. When you're ready to release from your middle splits, go ahead and do so. Of course, if you're feeling good and want to continue stretching, feel free to do so on your own time. I encourage that. I also encourage you guys to take some easy stretches to cool down from this more intense practice today. Thank you all for flowing with me and tuning in to my splits training video. I really hope you enjoyed. Let me know how this flow felt for you in the comments. And namaste.